Hey there Internet, and welcome to another episode of Where's Your Bookmark. Today I'm talking about Beautiful Creatures, the first book in the Castor Chronicles series by Garcia and Margaret Stohl. Now for a lot of you, you've probably heard of this book before. It's actually been out for a while, but it's something that my library didn't actually get until last year. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things that when you're running a young adult collection, there are so many great books out there. You pick and choose and you try to do the best you can, but sometimes you don't get a series right away. I'm happy to say though that we have since caught up and have all 4 books of the Castor Chronicles. I was finally able to get my hands on our copy this week because with the movie now in theaters, everyone has been wanting to read it, so I was lucky enough to take a weekend and get it for myself. Now with a bunch of the books I've been making videos on lately, they're books that I've already completed. Not the case so far with Beautiful Creatures. I'm only about halfway through, but so far I'm really liking what's going on. The premise is a really cool Southern Gothic story. Readers are getting this story through the eyes of Ethan Waite, a 16-year-old who has spent his whole life in the small town of Gatlin, South Carolina. He's counting down the days and months because he wants to go to a college at least 1,000 miles away because he wants nothing to do with this place anymore. Except everything changes on the first day of his sophomore year when Lena Duquesne becomes a classmate. This is the first new girl they've had since the 3rd grade, and she comes with a whole bunch of secrets. Suddenly, Gatlin isn't quite so simple as he thought it was. That's because Lena's counting down the days to something too. You see, she's a caster, a kind of witch, and on her 16th birthday she's going to be claimed for either the light or the dark, good or evil. Garcia and Stohl have built a really complex world, and I'm really just now starting to get into the intricacies of all the different sort of caster groups and what the special abilities they can have are, and they're very well thought out. I can tell though it's going to be quite a lot to keep track of, so I am taking my time with this book. That's something I think that also is really strong about this book is the pacing. It feels like you're in the South. I've visited a few times and there's a certain pace that goes along with being there, and this story fits into it perfectly. So it's fantasy, it's a little paranormal. So far I'm really liking it. I know a bunch of people have read these books and can't say enough good things about them, and since I have seen the movie trailer and I think that looks really interesting, that made me just want to read this even more, and I am determined to read this book before I go see it in theaters. So again, this is Beautiful Creatures by Garcia and Margaret Stohl. If you guys have read this series, what do you thought of it? If you haven't read this series, do you think it sounds like something you're interested in, or is it something you're going to pass on? I would love to know your comments. Leave them down below. All my usual links are down there as well, and that's it for me for now, Internet. Take care. Bye!